Oh, it's going. All right. Hey, good afternoon, America. Just thought I'd say a couple of words here. Working on office work and personal matters. Office work is business, personal matters, personal matters. If you didn't already know, I'm kind of an entrepreneur myself, but I'm not really an entrepreneur because today I figured out that I'm actually a dinosaur, which sucks. I'm like the last of Gen X. Some people say I'm millennial, but I don't. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be a snowflake and say that I'm not a woman. I am a man, but I grew up in Generation X. Even if 83 is technically a millennial. Whatever. You could. My sister's 87 and she still thinks she's Gen X. Now my cousins that were born in the 90s, total millennials, all day long. And then you got my kid, not a millennial. I don't know what the fuck you call that. A liberal mess of shit. Because of the liberals weren't so boisterous growing up like they were growing up with me because, gays stayed in the closet and we had grunge music and people called us potheads and they hated Eminem. Nowadays they love Eminem and embrace potheads and criminals and people that like to identify as something they're not, but they are, and I don't, it's confusing. So when I get to thinking about that, generations and stuff, uh, it starts to strike a bit of a nerve because my kid was raised in a digital. Maybe that's what they ought to call them, Generation Digital. Generation D, because they're in a digital age. My first phone had a fucking little thing with drip, drip. And before there was cordless phones, you had a cord on your phone that was like 20 feet long. And there was only one phone in the house. But these are things that Gen Xers remember. Millennials, on the other hand, remember not having cell phones in the beginning, but soon after. I thought cell phones were crazy. Fuck, I thought beepers were crazy. Page me. What the fuck's a pager, dude? Well, you call me and I call you from a payphone. Ah, when was the last time a millennial seen a payphone? I used to have a phone card that I used to use on a payphone to call my family when I first got my first apartment. I didn't have a fucking phone. I didn't pay for a phone. When I had the payphone, I had a little card. You just dial the number and fucking calls up whoever the fuck you want to call, and they tell you, you have 15 minutes remaining. Shit, I used to call my family and tell them I love them on fucking quarters when I didn't have the card. So that's call me a millennial. Fuck off. My brother and I used to heist fucking quarters out of a fucking newspaper machine at our apartment complex. Go play Mortal Kombat. Not fucking 5 or 6, Mortal Kombat 2. Because we had Mortal Kombat on Sega. And 2 wasn't released yet. But that's where I grew up. So call me a millennial if you want to, but I cried when Nirvana died, baby. In Optimus Prime. That was a horrible movie. That was an animated movie, but anybody else that cried when Optimus Prime died in the animated series back in the fucking 80s is not fucking millennial. Oh, by the way, I'm drinking Budweiser. Had a pretty good day. Get some business done, get some shit done. And I wanted to figure out how to call up the president. Well, you can't actually call the president. That's not a phone call you can make. That phone call is you better know his ducky name or whatever the Secret Service calls him, because the Secret Service has a fucking name for everybody. Every president. Since I didn't know that, no one will try to know that. I just called the fucking open hotline. Got a hold of someone. Actually, I got a hold of someone legit that answered, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" They're like, put me on hold to the comment hotline, which wasn't a big deal, but all I wanted to do was just tell President Trump's like, dude, everybody's out of their fucking minds. If the government, which I'm saying the Congress, or Democrats, period, they used to be cool, man. And everybody realized there's things you could do, and as a president, you could do because that's better for our country, right? Well, if you think about it, no one's ever actually pressured this that hard until now. Like every president before us, all the way back to George Washington, has always done something kind of fucking, I don't really want to do it, but I will. With that being said, I'm not going to say Trump didn't say the right things when he wanted to say what he needed done. What he should have said is, I heard there's a lot of corruptions with American influence in your country, and I want to find out about the corrupt Americans in my country. If he would have said that, none of this would have happened, because President Zelensky would have said, well, what corruption are you speaking of? And he would have brought him out of the closet to admit that he knew he ran on said corruption. Did he say that? No. He's a business guy. He goes straight to the point. He knew who was corrupt. You know what I mean? He absolutely knew who was corrupt. He said, look, the vice president became the guy in Ukraine that did the president's work. At the same time, his son doesn't live in Ukraine, but catches a paycheck because he's on the board of a gas company in Ukraine. Now, I don't give 10 fucks how you fucking twist it. Joe Biden already knows he's fucked on that. He's not going to be the president's candidate. There's no fucking way in fucking hell that would happen. Which, sometimes when I say that, I might eat my own words. And that's fine. I sure as fuck hope Bloomberg doesn't get it. If anything, I'm kind of Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Buttigieg guy. More Tulsi Gabbard. But let's say, all right. There's something fishy about Biden. Hate to say it. Don't get all freaked out. Because if fucking Trump Jr. was sitting on the fucking gas board of fucking Russia, there'd be a whole lot to be said about it. Not a big deal. What I'm trying to say, though, is like, all right, let's look at our president's candidates. Right out of the gate, the only person I say is not a crook, like completely not crooked at all, has no crooked intentions, would be Bernie Sanders. That is the only one. And he's not even a Democrat. He is an independent socialist. That's running on the Democratic ticket. He's not a crook. He's a very, 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 very upset Jewish man that is having a hard time with his faith, and that believes Hitler and Stalin and China's ideas are great. Well, this guy named Marx makes him a Marxist. Russia's not even a fucking socialist country anymore. Now, they're trying very hard to be a democratic country, which is cool. That's why I got a lot of respect for Putin. I got more respect for Putin than I do have for anybody in the fucking NATO organization, really, honestly. Putin says something, shit gets done. Trump says something, shit gets done. Those are natural born leaders. And they don't put up with nonsense. Well, Trump's a little bit more lighthearted than Putin because Putin will actually go and fucking shut you up. Trump's like, prove it. Which, as leader, they can't really prove anything. Thank fucking Putin's not a president because he probably has more body counts than the Clinton total. Alright. So anyway. Bernie's the only one that's not a corrupt piece of fuck. Tulsi Gabbard, I believe, is not corrupt. Except what she likes, Antifa. Kind of fucks me up. Not a good choice. And I get a little bit disarrayed. I mean, she's beautiful. She's striking. Reminds me of Wonder Woman or some sort of weird witch. Because she got that white strip. I don't know. Some sort of comic book character. She's gorgeous. And she has a lot of military ideas that I like a lot. But on that globalist idea, maybe a global union. It doesn't say well with me. The only way to go global is to kill a lot of people and make a lot of less people. And then you get to turn the United States and the United States of the world. That's the only way to go down. You have to kill a lot of people to do that. And then we got Buttigieg. Which Buttigieg, although he was a trained killer by the United States, is also not saying anything about fags, gay people, the LGBTQ, because I got family and friends that are involved with it, and that's fine. Buttigieg was a privileged gay boy. Privileged gay boy. Then went to the military probably because he had a conflict of interest with his gayness. So what I'm trying to tell you is, alright, so you got heavy hitters out there like Putin, Xi Jinping, Iran, the Mahmoud or Taliban. Pretty much anybody in the Middle East, just saying, they kill people for being gay. And as soon as America finds out that they elected a gay guy for president with pretty liberal ideas like Hillary Clinton, which I'm glad Hillary Clinton's not president because we would already be at World War III. I don't need a jump start to World War III. RuPaul would be a better president as a gay person than Pete Buttigieg. Because at least they could have gawked at the beauty of RuPaul as a man and to kind of mind fuck him a little bit as Muslims. And then RuPaul probably bust his big old fucking black dick out and fucking show everybody the gun as he's dropping the nukes. I don't think anybody's gonna be too impressed when fucking Pete Buttigieg drops out this little tiny fucking white weenie that he grew up with that got paid fucking thousands of dollars before he even went to fucking anywhere he went. But that's just me. As an American, as knowing that I accept things, yeah, Pete Buttigieg might be a good guy. He might be a good vice president or secretary of state or something like that. But I just don't see America standing straight up with an open homosexual. You guys got to remember, 50 years ago, homosexuals were, they had their own secret clans. They used to hang out in their own secret places. They'd write books about it. It wasn't mainstream. And to let you guys know, homosexuals only make up like 2.5% of the American population registered homosexuals. 2.5%. Let's put that out there. 2.5% against how many million people we got living here? Not even to 500 million?
Something like that, yeah.
So there's like 5 to 6 million open gay folks, which I'm sure that number is rising by the day because it's a popular thing to be. Could you imagine being a gay guy and the first gay guy you walk up to is like, hey, I'm totally gay. You're like, you got a sweet ass. You want to go home and fuck? And that guy's like, well, I'm not really into men. I just identify as gay. Now, as a gay person, I'd be pretty pissed off. I'm like, dude, you're in my place, my people, and I'm looking to put my dick in your butt. And you're trying to tell me you're not really gay, but you identify as gay? Sad face. That's how ridiculous it is, America. So that's our presidential hopefuls. Oh, wait a second, I almost forgot. The white supremacists. Bloomberg. That guy hates fucking...
Anybody poor.
Yeah.
We need to tax them to death so they can't afford to do anything.
Yes. That guy, alright, this, out of everybody that's running for president, the last person, alright, so I am partially black. My brother's black. I have a lot of black relatives. And I'm trying to tell you right now.
Hey, you're with a Jewish woman.
Yeah, and I'm currently very, very in love with a Jewish lady, which she's probably going to end up being my wife, but she's going to have to play her cards right because the last one didn't work out for me. So I'm really going to be superstitious on this one.
Oh, whatever.
But I'm trying to tell you, you want to meet the Grand Wizard Ku Klux Klan member, Dr. Bloomberg. And he's even gone even further. His racism is no longer against people of color or Jews. It's against poor.
Bloomberg's Jewish. You think he'd be a better Jew?
A lot of these Jews get rich and they don't remember what they are. That's why they need Jesus Christ.
Well, no, that's why they need God.
And Jesus was the one that taught all the Jews to be better Jews, right? Argue that question.
No, but he was a rabbi.
Whatever.
What?
Jesus Christ taught the Jews to be better Jews. Period.
And not be Roman and turn away from God.
That's right. That's why I say all Christians are really super modified Jews. That doesn't count the evangelicals that believe in all the Roman bullshit that they put in there. That's a side note. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, Bloomberg is a fucking Ku Klux Klan holding, wish there was slavery, fucking wants to put a burning cross in your front yard just because you're poor. He doesn't care if you're black, Mexican, Latino, whatever you call yourself or identify yourself as. Dude, Bloomberg wants to burn a cross on your shit for $25,000 a year. And he'd pay you that just to fucking show up with his white fucking horse painted fuck himself fucking ideas. Bloomberg's an idiot. I'll go for the gay guy or Wonder Woman any day. Fuck. I will vote for Bernie Sanders over Bloomberg. Wonder Woman and the gay guy. But I'm trying to be honest with you guys. No shit, dude. Bloomberg is still a member of white supremacists. Listen to him talk. Listen to anything he said when he was a mayor. Stop and frisk. Think about that. Think about it. Mayor of New York. Where legitimately poor white folk are a minority and poor everybody else are the majority. How many poor white folk got fucked around? Probably not too many. Matter of fact, I could say about real close to a low 5%. Out of all the other folks that stop and frisk that totally did that. The guy's a white supremacist, guys. I mean, I don't know how to fucking drive that in your heads any better. The dude is a white supremacist. You think Trump's a white supremacist? I just watched an interview with him the other day. We had a black kid that was extremely talented, sitting right next to him, and has every hope of one day being the president. And how much do you think Donald Trump sat there and talked to that young man and told him exactly what he needed to do to become a president? I'm going to tell you the exact same time. Do you think Bloomberg will be seen set next to a black young man that's extremely intelligent and wants to be president one day? Nope. You know what Bloomberg would have found? Trailer trash. Instead of poor white kid next to him. Bloomberg's a racist. Bloomberg is the head of racism. I hate that guy. Alright, done talking about Bloomberg. But on top of everything, yeah, impeaching Trump's the only thing. But you gotta think about this too. You can impeach Trump. He could run for president again. This makes him the 46th president. Idiots. Fucking turds. Not too smart, are you? Look, Trump's winning next year no matter what. And if you're really that pissed off about it, you're probably rich. Which I don't know why the richer get richer. Especially under his shit. And that's not saying the poor don't get richer either. The poor has every opportunity to get richer. It's just you're already set. So all these CNNs and MSNBCs and all these nonsense, extreme fake news sources. Fox is even falling into that with me lately, but it's just not. It's just like, all right, well, there's two sides of a story, guys. I read everything. I've been on top of everything, and I'm telling you right now, there's two sides of the story. First side's first. The Democrats do hate Trump. They're really pissed off. Republicans are battling that, but here's the deal. Trump doesn't speak well. He's not Barack Obama. Barack Obama could talk his way out of a fucking turd cake sandwich in the middle of a fucking all-gay prison getting ready to fucking get ass fucked. Or after he gets ass fucked. I don't know. I can't tell. But I know he's a really good speaker. Look at George Bush. Not a very good speaker. Clinton. He can play a saxophone. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. I mean, there's a... You gotta think about it, man. Obama was a beautiful speaker. Trump, not so much. He's pretty direct and Really raw to the point.
He's a CEO and a boardroom.
Right. All I'm trying to say, guys, is Trump will win re-election. If he doesn't, man, there's going to be a lot of people upset. And especially if this economy, if a Democrat gets elected to presidency and everything we're floating high on now falls apart and they blame it on Trump, I'm not going to, because I've already heard all the Democratic policies. I want Trump and Trump people to keep running this country because I'm getting richer. Even though sometimes I'm getting poorer, but my opportunities to gain more wealth are bigger. It's just a fight each and every day. Now, I couldn't fight that same fight doing what I do as an entrepreneur, spending money, and having a Democrat play with that. As of right now, I do have the opportunity that's out there that I can make more than I'm making now. And I have been bit by bit, but sometimes it takes sacrifices. And this economy is not going to run without the ability to take a risk on a sacrifice. You're going to hold your guns, and holding your guns sometimes makes you broke. So what I'm trying to tell you, though, is as long as that opportunity of sacrifice is out there, no matter what, you can recover from it because you already got something. You take away that ability to sacrifice and not have anything in return, no matter what, that's called ball breaking. And that will break any entrepreneur's balls. And usually that leads to a bankruptcy and back taxes and a bunch of bullshit. But as long as the outside's out there to know that if I make a sacrifice, not a good business decision, and in this economy I can requiddle my money, you're not going to break me on that. Because I got that. And there's a lot of young folks out there that want to do that. I just wish everybody else could figure that out. Instead of being like, all I wanted was a crooked, cheating asshole lady as a president. That's all I needed. That's all I needed in life. Was a female president that gets dragged into World War III. Once you lose that aspect of your life and think about what you can do, not what they can do, because what you can do is way better than what they can do. Because what they can do brings you back to slavery. What you can do is freedom. Don't ever think what they can do. Think about what you can do. And with that, America, don't have to drink beer, smoke cigarettes, but if you drink beer, please drink American. Except for, Corona and certain other aspects of life. Guinness. Stella, love Stella. Sapporo. Sake. That's not big, but really good. And think about what you can do, America. What can you do? Be a legend or be a slave? I love you, America. I'll talk to you later.